3,000 years ago, no refrigerator, no electricity, no DoorDash. Someone figured out how to keep butter from going rancid for months. They also figured out it made everything taste better. Coincidence? Absolutely not. Today we clarify butter, both figuratively and literally. Because if you think clarified butter and ghee are the same thing, you're lovingly wrong, but you're still wrong. Stick around and I'll show you the difference because we are making both today. Butter. You think you know it. You don't. This humble yellow block is roughly 80% fat, 16% water and about 4% milk solids. That's proteins, sugars and trace minerals. The whole circus. Here's the problem. Those 4%, they burn. They scorch. They make your pan smell like regret at around 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Watch. Regular butter, medium heat, 45 seconds. There it is. See that brown foam? That sizzle turning dark? That's your milk solids committing suicide. Clarified butter removes those milk solids entirely. The smoke point jumps to around 450 Fahrenheit, that's 230 Celsius. Now you can actually sear something without setting off smoke alarms in a 3-block radius. Unsalted butter only. This is not negotiable. Salt in butter varies by brand and batch by batch. You have zero control over seasoning when you cook with pre-salted fat. And control in cooking and in life is everything. Unsalted, you salt your food, not your fat. Clarified butter has been around for a good 3,000 years. Evidence points to the Indian subcontinent, the Vedic period. Ghee wasn't just food, it was sacred, burnt in ritual fires, offered to deities, and used in Ayurvedic medicine to this day. Ethiopia has nutty, a spiced clarified butter. The Scandinavians buried butter in peat bogs for long-term storage. Some of it dug up centuries later and supposedly still edible. I'm not volunteering to verify that. Call it what you want, clarified butter, ghee, nutty, smen or beurre clarifié. Every culture that had cattle and heat figured that out independently. And that tells you something. It isn't a trend, it is foundational cooking science. Yet here we are in the modern world and we pay $12 for a tiny jar of clarified butter. We'll fix that today. 4 sticks of unsalted butter or a pound block costs about $2.50 on sale. That's 16 ounces of raw material and your yield is about 75%. So you will end up with about 12 ounces of clarified butter for $2.50. The math is not complicated. It's called Sparsamkeit in German. Frugality as a virtue. Buy butter when it's on sale, make a big batch, label it, stack it. You now have liquid gold on standby for a year and your future self will not be disappointed. Equipment. Brief but important. Use a pot with a wide base. If you use something with a narrow base and tall sides, your water has nowhere to go, your steam doesn't escape, and you will be standing there for an hour. Wide base, larger surface area, milk solids settle more evenly and water evaporates faster. Physics for the win again. You'll need a wide heavy-bottomed pot, a very fine mesh strainer or some cheesecloth, maybe a ladle to fill your jars, and dry, clean jars. Notice I said dry. That's important. 1 drop of water in your finished clarified butter and you create a cozy environment for microbial life. Don't do that. Unsalted butter. I'm using 6 pounds of it because it was on sale for $1.99 and I'll also show you how to make ghee afterwards. You can cut the butter into chunks for even melting. I'm just going to use the pound blocks. Medium-low heat. Do not, I repeat, do not crank up the heat to speed things up. You're not in a hurry. The butter isn't in a hurry. This is a collaboration. As it melts, you'll notice the butter will start to foam. That's the water beginning to evaporate. That's what we want. This is what's happening. The water, the 16% in the butter, is boiling off as steam. The proteins and sugars, aka the milk solids, are separating. The heavy ones sink to the bottom, the light ones float up with the foam. There's 3 layers developing. Milk solids, fat, foam. Keep it at a gentle simmer. You want a few bubbles, you don't want a rolling boil. The foam on top, you can skim it off or you can leave it on. It will eventually clump up and sink to the bottom. I'm opting to skim it off simply because it's quicker. Either way, not a crisis. However, what is a crisis is burning the milk solids on the bottom. Watch those. The moment they start darkening, you cross from clarified butter to something else. We'll get to that in a minute. After about 20 to 25 minutes, you will notice that the butter has gone from milky to clear. That's the butter fat, pure, uncontaminated. At this point, there's 2 ways to finish. The one is to strain it, the other one is to ladle it out. Normally, I would prefer the cheesecloth. Today, I'm using the ladle method simply because I'm only going to put half of this into jars right now, and then we move on to making ghee out of it. So, have a couple of jars, dry jars, ready to go. Turn off the heat. Let it cool for a couple minutes. Clarified butter. Done. This has essentially no lactose whatsoever. The sugars, primarily lactose, are in the solids, and we just removed those. For most lactose intolerant people, this would be a workable fat. Of course, that's not medical advice, that's just chemistry. Ask your doctor. Ghee, same process, same butter, same pot. Only one difference, we do not stop here. Where clarified butter is patients rewarded, ghee is patients weaponized. We're gonna let those milk solids that we were careful not to burn on the bottom here go brown. On purpose, slowly, under controlled conditions. And in doing so, we're creating an entirely different flavor. You want a very gentle simmer, barely any movement on the surface. The solids are gonna cook through. We don't want them scorching. For a pound of butter, a total cooking time of 45 minutes to an hour is in order. There is no shortcut. If you want ghee, you need to invest the time. Color is everything here. Watch the solids on the bottom go brown. White is clarified butter. Ivory is getting there. Brown is ghee. Dark brown is burnt. You don't want that. Also trust your nose. When the solids hit the right browning status, you will smell a nice nutty flavor. That's your cue. At that point, pull it off the heat immediately. Off the heat now. Time to get the last bit of foam off the top. Again, let it sit for a couple of minutes and then strain it through a cheesecloth, or just ladle it out and make sure you leave the brown solids behind. I'm using a strainer with cheesecloth at this point. That gives you a superior result. This is still a fairly light colored ghee. We could go a little bit longer, but it already has a pretty nice nutty smell to it. The leftovers go into the fridge and I'll use them up in the next few days. Same fat, different flavor profile. Nutty, rich, complex. Clarified butter is clean and pure, and it lends itself to any application where you want a fat without an attitude. Ghee, on the other hand, is a little bit assertive. If you cook eggs in this, you will notice if you drizzle it on some basmati rice, it definitely makes a difference. There is a reason why 500 million people have used it for a couple thousand years. Here are a few tips. Tip 1, don't stir, let it settle on its own. Stirring disturbs the separation. Tip 2, impurities float up, skim them off or leave them for the cheesecloth. Tip 3, use a light colored stainless steel pan or an enamel pot that's white. so you can see the color change. Dark pans and non-stick surfaces hide what's going on and you don't want that. Ignorance isn't bliss here. Tip 4. Store in glass, not plastic, since fat absorbs plastic compounds over time. Yes, you can freeze these jars since fat does not expand. Last but not least, label your jars because you will forget when you did this.